The income sources that count in retirement are going to be Social Security is a big one for most everyone. Some are going to have a pension. Others are going to continue to have some sort of a part-time job and have some income there. And so when we look at what that income is going to look like versus expenses, we can help build a plan that's going to make sure that you can maintain that standard of living that you're used to. Because all of that money you were able to put away pre-taxed, whenever you're withdrawing money out of that account, we have to pay taxes on 100% of that money, not just the original that I put in, but all of the gain, the interest that it has earned. Social Security, understanding when I should start taking it and all of that is a big subject. It's not a one size fits all. And while this is our wheelhouse, these are the conversations we get to have on a regular basis. People expect me to have that crystal ball. And unless you can tell me your checkout date, there's no perfect answer as to when I should start drawing Social Security. But there are some factors, some questions that we like to ask to help you understand what I should be thinking about, the questions I should be asking. And so some things like this would be, how is your current health? What's longevity in your family look like? Income, understanding. Some people at 62, they need to start drawing. So it's really not a question, but others that are saying, I don't know that I really need to draw. I just want to make the best decision possible. I think I can live, for clarity, I think I can live without drawing Social Security at this time, but would it be wise for me to go ahead and start? And so we really start digging into all the nitty gritty, the income and expenses, the need every year that you delay drawing. There's an 8% increase to your Social Security. So there is a break-even point down the road, but life expectancy and longevity in your family are huge factors when we're helping determine when we should. So a person can start drawing Social Security at age 62. And that's great, grand, and wonderful. But every year that they delay, every year that they wait to start drawing Social Security, there is an 8% increase, which is a nice little increase. And then there's a big misunderstanding about full retirement age. So we're going to talk about that. But you can start at age 62. Every year it increases until you reach age 70. It's not going to increase anymore once you reach age 70. So you have to start taking at age 70 if you haven't done so already. Everyone has what's called a full retirement age, and that age that is a little bit different based on when you were born. And the only thing significant about full retirement age is there's no limit to how much I can make if I'm still working and draw Social Security. So if you're drawing Social Security prior to your full retirement age, they're going to limit you on how much you can make per year. Just for round numbers, call it $24,000 a year. As soon as I exceed that, for every $2 of Social Security I'm bringing in, I'm paying $1 back. Choosing a lump sum as opposed to a monthly distribution, a monthly payout through a pension has its pros and its cons. I think it's important to just highlight a real life example that I recently ran into where a person's saying, hey, I need to make sure that this money helps take care of me, my wife, and then I have a grandson that I'm responsible for, and I want to make sure that he is well taken care of long after. And when we looked at that pension, the lump sum made the most sense, because he now becomes in control of this, and I can roll over this lump sum, a non-taxable event, put it into a plan that's going to say, hey, here are my beneficiaries. And if, God forbid, me and my wife go soon, that chunk of change is still going to be there for that grandson. So many times it's just maintaining control for the family, making sure that if husband and wife pass away sooner than expected, all that pension money is not just gone and out the window. Somebody in the family is still benefiting from that. Annuity is kind of a fancy word for a guaranteed contract. Insurance companies offer these guaranteed contracts saying, hey, you can't lose a dime, Here's your guaranteed interest rate for this period of time. Very simple, a lot of benefits to an annuity. There are 3 different types of annuities. We don't recommend all of them. There can be some mixed reviews around the word annuity. It's just important to understand that we recommend fixed annuities, and we also recommend FIAs, fixed indexed annuities. Both of those have some great guarantees, great interest earning opportunities, and great withdrawal features. So highly recommend those annuities. One of the key features that annuities can offer, not all annuities include this, but there are annuities specifically geared towards income for life. And so if you said, hey, here's my nest egg, here's my chunk of change, here's my 401k, whatever it might be, and I want to make sure that I cannot outlive this. There are guaranteed contracts that say, if you start drawing money off of this at this age, we can guarantee you this income for the rest of your life. It doesn't matter if you live to be 120, it's going to guarantee you that income for the rest of your life. You cannot outlive it. Annuities are not a one size fits all. There are many different types of annuities, and so different features that we really help match meet goals through those plans. But there are times that annuities just don't make sense. I ask people all the time, when do we plan to use this money? How much do we plan to use at that time? And if the answer to that question might be, you know what, I'm going to retire in 5 years and we're going to take this money and we're going to buy a home in Florida, Arizona, Texas, because I hate Illinois winters, or wherever you might be, then hey, that's probably not the best solution. And so the annuities are going to be geared towards, number one, safety, more of a longer term play, saying, hey, I need to make sure this money is in a safe place, earning the best interest possible, and I don't want any fees. And by the way, I'm going to want to, at some point in time, start taking money off of this. It really checks all of the boxes in that regard. Many times people have worked their whole lives to accumulate this chunk of change, and they need to make sure that chunk of change is going to allow them to maintain a standard of living that they're used to. And so with that, many times we're saying, okay, with this nest egg, we can start withdrawing every month, every quarter, once a year, whatever you would prefer. And by the way, we can have that money just direct deposited right into your bank account at the time of the month that you want it to be deposited. And if it's a pre-taxed account, an IRA or 401k, and you say, hey, I want to be able to account for taxes, we can have taxes just withheld from that distribution. And so it works out very seamlessly to set up what's called a systematic withdrawal request. So that money is yours. You could start taking out whenever you would like to. And that's just a seamless way to be able to put that money into your bank account. It's really difficult to get behind the idea of let's just keep riding the roller coaster of the market in retirement, for the fact that I'm trying to make a plan for retirement, knowing that I can't outlive this income. And when that roller coaster is really doing well and then takes a pretty deep dive, you're saying, I put a plan together based on what was there. And now it's not there anymore. It's down to here. And if I keep pulling out of this at the rate that I'm pulling out, I'm going to bleed this thing dry and outlive my income. And so we always recommend that whenever you and your employer are no longer contributing to a retirement account, it's a great time to choose to do a rollover. Again, a non-taxable event. Get off of that roller coaster and choose safety as your number one priority. And then the other features that you're going to need with that money that are going to allow you to, again, maintain the standard of living that you're used to. When you start nearing that 5-year mark, 5 years away from retirement, I think it is very helpful to get our ducks in a row and we sit down together and we start talking about what the costs are going to look like in retirement from the Medicare standpoint, from the retirement standpoint, and start working on budgeting. Are these things and those things going to be paid off in time for retirement? And so when we understand the income and expenses that we can anticipate for retirement, we start formulating a plan and working towards that plan to where it's not this scary at retirement. I'm trying to make some big decisions. And if I knew now what I knew then what I know now, I should have done things a little bit differently. So 5 years is a sweet spot to start getting some ducks in a row.